Long ago in the country of Moli, there lived a beautiful princess. She was known throughout the land for her kindness and generosity, but most of all, she was loved for her enchanting voice. Every evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, the princess would sing to the people of Moli, and they would gather from all around to listen to her sweet melodies. One day, an evil sorcerer named Anansi heard the princess's singing. He had never listened to such a beautiful voice and was completely captivated by it. If only I could have that voice for myself, he thought. So he decided to pay the princess a visit. When he got to her palace, he told the guards that he was a friend of the king and asked them to let him in. They did not know that he was a bad sorcerer, so they let him in without telling the princess. When Anansi saw her, he fell in love with her beautiful voice even more, and so he decided to ask her to marry him. The princess was very flattered by his proposal, but she had never met such a strange man, and so she wanted to know more about him before making a decision. "Will you tell me a story," she asked him, "about where you're from and why you want to marry me?" So Anansi sat down on a nearby chair and began to tell the princess a story. As he spoke, he pulled out a small bag from his pocket and placed it on the ground between them. Then he started pulling out all sorts of treasures, gold coins and precious gems. And with each treasure he pulled out, he wove a more fantastic tale of adventure and bravery until the princess was completely captivated by his stories and the treasures. And when he finished his tale, she found herself in love with him, and so she agreed to marry him. However, the princess had one condition for their marriage. She told Anansi that she didn't want any children, and so they made a pact that if the princess became pregnant, then Anansi could do whatever he wanted, and so they were married. But unfortunately, the princess soon became pregnant. When she told Anansi the news, he became very worried because he didn't know what to do. He had loved the princess from the moment he heard her beautiful singing, and he didn't want anything to happen to her. However, he had also promised to do whatever it took to avoid having a child, and so he started thinking of a way out of this situation. That's when he remembered a small village hidden deep within the forest of Sama. In that village, there lived an old woman who was rumored to be able to take away people's voices. If he brought the princess to that village, then perhaps the old woman could take away her child. So that is exactly what he did. But when the old woman heard the princess's voice, she refused to take her child. "I will only take away the voice of the one who brought me the chaos seed," she said. And so Anansi went back to the princess's palace to get the chaos seed, but he was too late. The princess had already given birth to a baby boy and named him Chaka.